Many people assume the United States and Great Britain share more day-to-day routines than they actually do. But when you compare daily rules and expectations, the differences stand out. Did you know the rules for something as routine as crossing the street or buying eggs could change just by crossing the Atlantic? Imagine watching a crowd in Manchester step into the road between cars, while in Chicago, most people wait on the corner for the walk signal. Scenes like these make it clear that even two familiar countries can live by very different standards, and these differences shape real choices. This video breaks down 6 everyday contrasts you can spot between the United States and Great Britain, from street crossings to supermarket basics. Every point is based on actual accounts, research, and reports, not stereotypes. But before we continue, hit that like button and subscribe. Number 6. Street crossing contrast. In the United States, jaywalking is usually against the law. In cities like Los Angeles or New York, police can issue tickets ranging from $25 to over $200 if you step off the sidewalk outside a marked crossing or ignore the signal. American neighborhoods, especially those built after the 1950s with bigger roads and spreading suburbs, rely on signals, with sidewalks that often stop unexpectedly. Parents teach children to wait for the light regardless of traffic, and even adults think twice before crossing mid-block. In Great Britain, street crossings are treated as a matter of judgment. In cities like Glasgow or Liverpool, people cross when and where they believe it is safe, not just when signs or lines suggest. Police rarely find pedestrians unless someone acts recklessly or puts others in danger. In London, crowds move quickly between stationary cars or weave through quiet streets at any point, especially on narrow roads dating back centuries. These habits reflect a real shift in responsibility and trust. Americans arriving in British cities are often surprised by the freedom locals expect as they cross anywhere, while British visitors in the US notice the difference immediately. Number 5. Vacation time gap. The gap in paid holiday time between the two countries is striking. Most full-time American employees receive around 10 paid vacation days per year. Even after years with the same company, 2 or 3 weeks off remains the norm, and many find it hard to take more than 1 week at a time. Employers often expect staff to check emails or remain available during their leave. In Great Britain, workers are legally entitled to at least 28 days of paid holiday each year, including public holidays. In August or at Christmas, entire offices can empty out for weeks. It is not unusual for workers to take 2 or 3 weeks off in one stretch without having to justify their absence. Friends and families travel together on longer trips, and most do not respond to work matters during their time away. For Americans, this can feel like a luxury, especially with the pressures to remain productive back home. Before smartphones, American offices used phone calls and pagers to keep employees accessible. Today, that expectation remains strong in the US, while in the UK it's less common. Number 4. School choice rules. In most American towns, public school placement depends almost entirely on a family's home address. If you want a different public school, you usually have to move to a new district, RE. And higher-rated schools are often found in areas with higher home prices and property taxes. This links education options to real estate, a system set decades ago. In Britain, while home addresses influence school options, families can formally apply to several public schools within their area. Local councils handle applications, and if a school is full, they must still find a place for the child in another nearby school. Factors like siblings, religious affiliation, or special needs can affect admissions. But the system recognizes variety, not just addresses. This approach relieves some pressure on local property markets and offers more practical choices for families. Americans hearing about this for the first time often remark on how much it would change life in their own towns. Number 3. No doctor bills. Medical costs are a daily concern for many Americans. Even a simple visit to the doctor's office can cost $100 or more up front if insurance does not fully cover it. With urgent care visits and hospital stays pushing totals far higher, many keep a credit card ready for medical bills, and paperwork from insurance can run several pages. In Great Britain, residents use the National Health Service or NHS for appointments, tests, and most prescriptions. There is usually no bill at the end of a regular doctor's visit, and no insurance cards are needed. Standard prescription charges in England are under $10, while in Scotland and Wales they're free. Private care exists, but most rely on the NHS. The switch from expecting paperwork to leaving after an appointment with nothing to pay is one of the most noticeable differences for Americans. Over time, this affects not only habits, but also the willingness to seek care. In the UK, the strain of worrying about sudden bills for routine health needs is simply not present. Have you ever delayed seeking care because of the cost? Let us know in the comments. Number 2. Drinking age divide. In the United States, the legal age for buying alcohol is 21. Even after someone can vote or join the military, most bars, restaurants, and stores will not serve beer, wine, or spirits to anyone under 21. ID checks are strict, and underage violations bring heavy fines both for businesses and customers. In Great Britain, the age to buy alcohol in a shop or order a drink in a pub is 18. Adults expect to enjoy a beer or glass of wine with a meal as soon as they reach legal adulthood. Even minors can sometimes order a drink in a restaurant if eating with parents, especially in rural areas. Large city venues often check IDs carefully, but the pressure surrounding drinking age is far lower in daily life. Americans visiting the UK notice teenagers and young adults in pubs or at family dinners, a scene that feels different from home. Before the 1980s, some US states allowed sales below 21, but this is now rare. Number 1. Eggs, fridge, or shelf. If you ask Americans where to find eggs in a grocery store, the answer is almost always the refrigerated section. By law, US producers must wash eggs and store them cold, since the washing process removes the protective coating that keeps bacteria out. Most people place cartons straight into their home fridges. In Britain, eggs are lined up on open shelves at room temperature in supermarkets. Producers do not wash off the egg's protective film, so eggs remain safe on the counter. Most families use eggs within a few weeks, often storing them near the stove or in a kitchen basket. This small routine makes a difference in shopping, food prep, and even energy use. Many Americans would never think to keep eggs out of the fridge until they see it firsthand in a British home. It's a small detail, but one worth asking. What's the most surprising kitchen habit you've noticed in another country? These day-to-day choices, from walking across the street to picking up a carton of eggs, show how national rules make lasting impressions on simple routines. For Americans, the system expects people to obey more detailed laws, even as society values individual choice. For Britons, everyday rules are sometimes looser, despite a reputation for order. These internal contradictions highlight how habits and expectations do not always match a country's public image. Think about your own experience for a moment. Which small rule or routine felt most unfamiliar the first time you saw it abroad? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.